Welcome back, everybody, to another Blitz Arena tournament of the Lika organization, aka one of the Discord servers of a YouTuber. The YouTuber doesn't quite participate anyway. Um, Today, yesterday, I have to say, I came back. I came back home from a team over the board. We got fourth place. We beat some of the top guys there. We dropped them to seventh. We got to fourth, and 1 hour after I came back home from a 6 hour trip, I'm not joking. We ended like in 4 hours, and then for 3 hours, I was using the Greek transportation system, aka bus, which is horrible. Um, Horrible for a couple of reasons. First of all, the ink for the tickets don't work. Second of all, it stinks. Not just smells, it stinks. And third of all, it's just the balance of physics work there. Anyway, and 1 hour after I came back home from team over the board, there was the Liga Blitz Arena tournament, the early one. I got second place on that one, so as you can see, two happy things in a day. That's good. However, the reason why I'm not showing you the late arena is, number one, I did not participate because I had zero energy and I slept earlier. And number two, it's because a cheater actually participated. And I'm going to save that for the next video, so I'm going to get y'all hyped for cheater content. Now that cheater, I will show you the backstory on the next video. How funny his games were. And I'm going to show you all of his 23 games that he played before getting banned. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video and also the puzzle. Go ahead and solve it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next video, which is gonna be in like tomorrow probably. Let's get to the games. Okay, so let's begin the first game. This is against an 1800 in Blitz and 1700 in Rapid. This is around my level. Technically, because 1600, 1700, not too much of a difference, just a 100 deal gap. Anyway, e4 c5. Okay, so I'm gonna play another Sicilian defense that pretty comfortable with them. I've pretty much know some sort of theory, but yeah. e6, this is the French variation. Obviously, it is after they go d4 and you take, they will take with the knight and you will go with c6. Okay, so they take with the queen, but I pre-moved a6, so it doesn't matter. They moved their queen back because they thought I would attack their queen with knight c6, but I did not. So, knight c6 now. c4, this is sort of a Maroczy bind, but with the queen on d3. I don't know how that ended up. Normally, this is where the knight would be, but it is the queen here. Queen c7, okay, just developing the queen, because I thought I was playing another, like, consistent, but I was not. It's some casual d6, e6, this is just normal. Okay, attack in the knight, we just defend it, we attack the bishop, they retreat because the bishop is a lot better than this knight. Knight b4, attacking the queen, just making sure it has to move again. Queen moves, castles, and after this move, I will go back. Then after this move, I have some sort of advantage. After bishop g2, then move knight a5 is really good because you attack a pawn and you also threaten and fork, but it is just simply defending like this. You still take the pawn, and you just have you're up a pawn. Congratulations. I did not see that, and we'll go bishop d7, which is one of the moves up there, I would say, but it gives away a lot of advantage. Castle's short side blunders the same idea twice. Of course, I don't see that. Again, I had to make fast moves. B4 is a good move, taking some sort of space. But here's the problem. Now I'm running out of space, and that's not really nice. I'm trying to make an attack here on the spawn. It is probably defended. Although, I mean, if you take this, then there is knight here, and there's problems, because you need to play this move, and after they go here, your queen is really, really stuck, and you need to reinforce it, and then it will go here, and probably win your queen in a few moves. So, queen c6, and pawn here, 98, we're running out of space. It is +2 for the opponent. That means the opponent has a huge advantage, which is the space advantage, and the pressure down the c-file. Knight here, queen back, and takes, and actually taking this pawn relieved a lot of pressure. I was hoping for a capture here, and that capture came, and that capture actually relieved pressure in my position. So I take with the knight, the advance. I could theoretically plant the knight here, but after this move I have to move it again, but I'll just have to take the bishop, so it wasn't really a good idea. So I retreat. My opponent still has a comfortable space advantage, so I try to trade more pieces, and more pieces are traded. Knight here is, according to me, not a good move, because I mean, trading pieces further will just help black get some space back, but also keeping the pieces here also puts some pressure on black, because what are you gonna play? What are you gonna do? Knight f6, and this is a mistake because of knight takes, bishop f6, rook moves, and I had to play this move, and after takes, and the bishop would retreat, and it will be a sort of equal position, slightly better for black, but I digress. It was a blitz game, nothing is equal. But we have bishop takes e4, queen takes e4, rook d4, and after the queen moves, we double up the rooks on the d file. He threatens to capture the rook, we trade, and we attack the queen one more time, and we make Alekhine's gun. This is two rooks and a queen staring down the f file, threatening a lot of things. Now this position is a draw, or very, very marginally better for black. But rook here, I mean, yes, this is not a big threat at all, because after takes, I lose the entire house. So, but, I mean, in this case, this pawn is a blunder, but whatever. You have to play the move here, and allow the queen to be attacked. But if they take you, then you just have pressure down black's pawn, and you've got and if that pawn is lost, then you will have an outside a pawn, and that will be a very good endgame advantage. However, we have queen d7, rook c2, and rook d1 check, trades here. We check with the queen. I expected like pawn here, and then I will just continue the game like usual. But instead, the 1800 blocks with the queen. And white is losing because the move rook check, you gotta take, and then I will just win your queen. And a couple moves later, I took the pawn, I forked the king and the rook, and instead of resigning, he actually abandoned the game, which basically closed the app without even resigning, which is bananas. Let's go to the next game. That was a good one. Okay, so this one is, I guess, a 600. Let's just have a balance in the scale, shall we? c4, e5. Okay, this is the most imbalanced way to play against the English. You're obviously challenging white into an imbalancing way, and this basically reverse Sicilian and everything about it. Knight f3 is a move. I reply with a gambit. I actually didn't want to play c6, and I played a gambit, actually. I don't know if this is a thing, but it is a gambit, and yeah. So what I wanted to do here, I was like, no, I didn't mean to play c6 and stuff like that. I try to get some fast development, and I did get some sort of development, but it was plus 1.4 because I lost the center pawn without a reason. So, oops, sorry about that. Just moved my hand a little too much, and the phone just verticalized. b3. Knight a6, trying to develop some pieces, and a couple moves later, this is the position. After here, it is plus 1.3 because, well, they're just up a pawn. And I'm just struggling here because I can't find the greatest moves, but whatever, it's fine. Bishop takes f6, though, is a horrible move. Let me tell you why. White's idea was, if I take, and they take back, I can take the knight, forgetting that they lost the rook in the corner. And by shocking turn of events, the position is not even that bad. Because if you paid attention, that was 2 pieces for a rook there. However, judging by the fact they thought for 20 seconds on the next move, they did not like that trade, even though it is perfectly reasonable for them. 2 pieces are better than a rook, especially without a pawn. It is plus 1 for you. they went for a mate, and actually here the better move would have been to lock the bishop and force it to play snakes and ladders or trade itself. No, they went for mate, and f5, the only good move. They rotate around, we attack the knight. Oh, sorry, skipped ahead a little bit. F4, f5, we attack the knight, and they have to retreat, and we attack the queen one more time, and we play. D6 is a very idea to like defend the pawn. Knight here, and we just advance the pawn, and they don't know about discover attacks, and we win the queen, and a couple moves later, my opponent resigned. Because they are down a queen. I don't know if you realized. Let's go next. Next game is a Dutch against the 1700, which is around my level, or 1800, I forgot his rating in Rapid. C4, E6, Knight C3, Bishop B4, Bishop D2, A3, takes, Knight F3, and F4 is the way I like to play against the Dutch. I try to play like something that looks like a Dutch. My opponents don't quite expect it. Now, obviously, taking here is not horrible. You're doubling the opponent's pawn structure. But in this case, actually, the knight cannot get in because it will just get taken. So there's a plus for white to double his pawns here. But it's not a good move, according to the engine. Because the bishop is just a lot better. E3. Now this knight can jump in. It will jump in eventually. Castles 94, there it is, it jumps in. I'm actually happy to trade the dark square bishop because I can't quite save it. You trade it on like when you think it is good to trade it, but in this case they never did, and I did trade like a bishop knight there, but okay. We're now in an opposite color bishop, opposite color bishops, which if all pieces are traded and a couple of pawns, we might be on a draw very soon. Now, this move was, I don't know how to explain it, but after pawn here, discover attack, he did not see the discover attack, and he lost the rook. But surprisingly, he's not losing, and it's just plus 0.3, which is shocking, I have to say. And this is where the game ended, because he stalled his clock out to, like, 0. I was like, bruh. And that stall cost me the entire match. The entire arena, to be fair. Because at the end, I had 26 points, and the guy in first had 28. Which means, if I won my last game, I would have gotten first. And thanks to that stall, I lost the chance of getting first. And I was like, bruh. And yeah, that kind of fucked me up, let's be real. I don't know if he just stalled his clock out because he lost the rook, or he had to do something, but yeah. That cost me, the arena a little bit. It's fine though. It's not, but whatever. Let's go to the next game. Next game. A queen's game accepted. Now we're gonna have some fun. E4. Okay. C3. Okay, already losing because I get free development. And the pawn back. E6. Okay, E6. Not a bad move, but you hung a pawn and with development, so I gotta go F4 to get the pawns in the center. Bishop B4. This is not a threat at all. Doubling the pawns here is actually a plus for me, let me show you. If he does this, that's actually a plus for me because the center is more reinforced. And as you can see from the evil bar, it's +2, not because of the strong center, that's also a reason, but it's because black has no pieces out, and I just have 1. So that's the other reason. A5. Okay, Bishop D2, I'm pinning the knight. Here we defend, and castles, and we attack the bishop. Takes, here I take with the bishop. Honestly, taking with the pawn is absolutely not bad, because you will get the open b file in the future. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I took with the bishop here, so I didn't want to split the pawns for some unknown reason. But taking with the pawn, absolutely fine. I also do it in my games. Bishop d7, queen e2, just developing all my pieces. Knight c6, castles, h6, b4, takes. Obviously, do not trade rooks here. Just do not trade the rooks. It is good to keep your rook on the open file. Just move your queen and connect the rooks, because it's a much better move, and you don't have to give away the entire file. By doing this, you give away the entire file, and there's no way for the opponent to reclaim it at the current moment. And it is the only open file at the moment as well. So that's a huge bonus for me. Knight goes here. And this 700 knows about knight reroutes. Oh, I did not tell you he's 700. I did not tell you about that. I go knight 95 to attack this bishop, because, knights are better than bishops, and in this case, the position is kind of open, so I might as well get some powerful bishops looking down at the king. Um, Knight here, I could obviously take the knight, but I will take the bishop instead. How it does give away a little bit of advantage, maybe because the knight was theorized as stronger, but in my case, I thought that the bishops were a lot stronger. In this position, I just go queen b2. Knight jumps here, we go rook e3. We do give away the file, but it's fine, and we kick away the knight after a couple moves. We lock down, of course, the center. Actually here, kicking out the knight first, knocking it backwards, and taking the pawn is actually not bad, because you can give this check first of all, or give this check, which is bad for the opponent, or even play pawn here and just give away this pawn, but win this knight, and then after the dust settles, you will just have a lot of pressure down, the king, because... And taking this pawn actually was a mistake. Wow, crazy. Okay, it's a lot complicated. I didn't know that. Anyway, e5. I lock down the position. It's a much more human move. Bishop takes because I didn't know what to do. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. I mean, just straight up pawn takes. Bishop here to try to stop the knight, but this is losing because of not that move. It was because of this move, because it's threatens mate, and there's not many ways you can stop it. Because after this move, you sacrifice the knight in order to get the spawn fork. Yeah, it is kind of a dead last position. Didn't have a lot of time either. Queen d5 though. Queen c3. f3. Rook f1. f2 check. I mean, that's mad, but it doesn't do much. Rook f5. Okay, so there's going to be some pressure. h3, we kick out the knight. Knight goes back, and one mistake it took, and we go bishop here, try to win the pawn. Pawn moves and hangs the knight. But maybe the idea was to open up the king, but I'd give the check, then take this pawn, or give checkmate, because the guy hung mate in one. You had to go here. But no, you had to go here and get mated. That was this game. Let's go to the next one. And this one, I think it is against, I think it's 2000 or 1800. I think it's around there. I think it's 1800, but I'm not sure. I forgot. Anyway, d4 knight f6, c4 g6, and we have a Grunfeld. Yes, sir. One of my favorite openings. The point of the Grunfeld is you're giving white a huge center, and you're gonna try to break that center, using attacks from far away, like developing the bishop to g7, giving up pawns to make the bishop on g7 stronger, and just putting pressure down on white, and one day he will collapse and you will win the game. We have the Masters line here. This is what the Grandmasters play nowadays. Bishop g7, e5, c5 actually is really nice. This is one of the moves, and actually here, top engine, and just pushing this pawn here is a mistake because of c5, and that is bananas. And if they don't take this pawn, you actually put some more pressure on this pawn to make them do something. They attack this knight, so I just defend, and takes. I took with the pawn because I would get the open b file. Then after that, they just castle. Okay, we can take, I guess. And after that, we just go bishop g4 because it's one of the moves. Then a couple moves later, we take this, and we go here, try to go for a queen trade. It doesn't get accepted, we just defend the pawn. And c5 again. The point of c5 is if white takes, I will take with this, and actually skewer the queen and the rook. And after this, we would take, and this all happened. However, why is the position not as bad as you thought? Because, well, they're down material, but why is it not bad? It is -1 because of one reason. The pawns. White has a passed c pawn and a really strong b pawn. And with these pawns, it might be enough for him to win the game. And considering the fact that, he has a bishop that is kind of strong, of course I will hung the game. And I did hung a rook, but he hang a pawn. And that pawn, oops, I did not mean to go forward. And that pawn was actually kind of important because it was one of the pass pawns. And now you only have one pawn that can become a queen. And the rest are just blocked. Now we have f3. This is an inaccuracy in my opinion because my king will get faster there. And he does. King e5. Not a good move in the current situation. You might as well go after the pawn, but then they will just defend. However, king e5 is absolutely reasonable. So rook takes, rook d1 check, and we just, hide here and defend the pawns. They attack this, we give this check, and we go back. And he just moves his king. So we just give this check. We move our king to defend the pawn. And mouse slips. That was 100% a mouse slip. But, I mean, he probably wanted to go here. But even if he did, he would just help me get, like, what I wanted. And what I wanted was to get to the pawns. Yes, I would sack the pawn here. But at the end of the day, everything else would be just defended. And your rook would just dance around. And I would just get to the pawns. Sacrifice the pawn. And get to the pawns. That is my entire plan, to get to the pawns. And let's say you do something like this. I push. I don't even have to take you. I just push you. And after this, it might be close to a draw, honestly. But that happened. And it was unfortunate. And in this position, he resigned almost in milliseconds after he played that move. That probably meant that it was a mouse slip. And that was a really good game. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that's all of the games. Let me make sure. 1 second. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, there's... Alright, so this is the final game of the arena. We have d4 knight f6, the Trompowsky attack. The Trompowsky attack, I actually played it in the tournament. The Trompowsky, for those who don't know, is an opening where you take away pretty much King's Indian, Grunfeld, and Nimzo Indians out of the theory and throw them out of the window and just play in a position that you can control. That is what you want in chess, a position that you can control. That is why I always say that a position like e4, e5, you don't have much control over what white will play. And you will have to memorize, like, for example, Spanish or Italian. This is the Spanish, the previous one was Italian. Or even a Scots, or even before that, a Vienna, or even that, a King's Gambit, or even, I don't know, the Sender game. I don't know, you just have to memorize all that. That's why you need to choose an opening that you can control the game a little bit. We have d4 knight f6, bishop g5, the Trompowsky, actually, good opening. g6. In this case, you don't have to take the knight straight away. I play e3. Now I do take the knight, because, he was going to have to waste another move. c3, e6, d6. Now this position is a draw according to the engine, which is funny. Bishop d3. Castles, knight d2. This is all just setup. This is all just a setup. Why doesn't this work? Because it's a free pawn, for those that are wondering. Now, why doesn't... I mean, let's say that this was played. Again, free pawn. Anyway, we have... We have knight here attacking this bishop. The bishop is a lot better than this knight. So he backs it up. Queen here, try to make it better, but it's +2, actually, because of, not that, but that. And because I have to go here, and then that's just a fork. I don't know how he missed that, but he did. And, actually, it's still there, I think. Yeah, it's still there, but it doesn't get spotted, so we'll just defend. Takes, and here. And, I mean, I still lose the knight, because I'm king in the center, So long castles, takes. Oh, not takes, just going here. Now I'm down material. I need to go attack the king, because I am a moron. So let's go attack the king. Queen here, try to take this knight. Rook here, takes the pawn. I thought he was going to take with the bishop, but no, he takes with the pawn. Just defending this, attacking the bishop, takes. Knight here, don't know what it does, so we'll just go through the mate. And ladies and gentlemen, the counterplay begins. Boom! This is pawn move. Obviously, you have to push here, so you can eliminate all counterplay. But He moves the queen here. And now I am better, despite being down material. Why am I better? Because of pawn takes. And you gotta go not here, but here. Going here, I mean, you do hang the pawn, and also the rook, but here. And after this, you sacrifice. And if they take, it is actually mate in like a couple moves. It should be, yeah, this is mate. I don't see that because I had too little time left. So instead I go with with this move, which instead of taking my rook, which would eliminate some sort of attack, he decides to take the free pawn. Because you see a free pawn in blitz game, you gotta take it. Now we see the combination, and we win the rook here in this case. Oh, what the yeah, we win the rook in this case. Now we check, and we mate. Dovetail mate. Oh, kind of, sort of, because the rook also covers some squares. Yeah. This was the final game. Honestly, a little bit of hope chess, but I mean, it kind of worked. It was sophisticated hope chess, let's be real. There will be another video tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. Depends. But probably tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Get the hell out of here.